Hello everybody and welcome to everything that's in the 1.17 part 1 update that's coming out just today, I think. Let's drop right in. Did you like that transition? Of course, this isn't everything, this is just everything that's relevant. I'm trying to make this quickly here, both for your sake and for mine. First off, we have Tinted Glass, which comes from Amethyst Shards. You will get to that. And Glass, which gets you these little Tinted Glass. And as you can see, despite the fact that he is in daylight, John is not burning due to the fact that, technically speaking, there's no sky axis, right? Because it doesn't let light through, which is really useful for observing things like mob farms. Over here we have the lightning rod, which is crafted with 3 copper ingots. Trust me, we'll get to it. Which gets you a lightning rod, which number 1 can set off redstone whenever it detects getting hit by lightning, but also attracts lightning in an area, making some of your builds a bit safer. Here you've got the candle. The candle is made with string and honeycomb and can be placed on the ground. Candle can be placed and then lit on fire to give you a little bit of light, and much like a sea pickle, can be placed in up to an arrangement of up to 4, making it brighter every time you do that, as well as also being dyed a myriad of colors. Happy Pride Month, everybody, by the way. With 1 amethyst shard and 2 copper, you can make a spyglass, and spyglasses are cool because they let you see things far really close. It's like Optifine, but worse because there's that in-game look, but it does look nice in-game and works pretty well. There's a sheep. There are these mountains. That tree is on fire for some reason. Don't look at that. With a glow ink sac and an item frame, you create these glow item frames, which allow things to be lit up when placed inside. It's a little bit easier to see in the dark, so it's got a glowing effect even when it's in the dark. Glow ink sacs can also be used on signs in order to make them glow in the dark, which have a similar effect to the glow item frames. The ores have been retextured, and every single ore now has a deep slate variant. Deep slate can be found at the bottom of the world, typically inside of lava pools, as noted here, but it's much harder to find in vast quantities until part 2 comes out, which is when the caves are added. This is normal generation. But speaking of generation, something that will be inside of this update is the Amethyst Geode. Amethyst Geodes are where you get those amethyst shards previously mentioned. Amethyst geodes contain 3 new types of blocks, well 4 actually, the amethyst, block of amethyst, the budding amethyst, the calcite, and the smooth basalt. The budding amethyst cannot be moved or broken and placed back down in survival mode, so you'll have to keep them in place, but they're used to grow these shards, which slowly grow over time to make the shards, which, once you have the cluster, when you mine it, will give you the shards previously mentioned. Let's hope I said that coherently. But alongside this retexture, there's also a new feature. The iron, copper, and gold ores, when mined, will drop the raw copper, raw iron, and raw gold. They can be crafted into these full blocks, but more importantly, when smelted, they bring you 1 nugget each, much like the ore did. Now, the reason that this is important is because with Fortune, you can get more iron, copper, and gold for every block mined. A very worthwhile addition, in my opinion. Here's everyone's favorite. Copper can be smelted into blocks and will slowly age over time when exposed to the air, as you can see right here, like this was. This was actually that previously, but it aged because it's not been waxed. You can also remove the wax with an axe. It now will age. It now will not age. It ages very slowly over time, very, very hard to keep up with, but it does trigger a block update, which means you can use an observer to detect it. There are 3 new mobs in the game. There are the goats. They spawn in the mountain areas, and they can ram you and other objects, which hurts a bit, and they jump very high. That's about all you need to know, so that's the story of Michael, right? Sorry, Michael. Here we've got James. James is an axolotl. Axolotls come in 3 different colors, and impressively, you can kind of not so much tame them, but you can make them like you, much like foxes do. By giving them some fish, and they will hunt down other aquatic mobs like squid and fish and guardians, much like wolves of the sea. Very, very useful, and you can even put them in buckets like normal fish. And then here's the glow squid, which, as noted previously, much like the glow signs and everything else that quote-unquote glows, will completely appear in the dark even when unlit. These glow squids are where glow ink sacs come from. Something I did not note about the deep slate is it comes in a bunch of varieties and types, but I'm going to recommend that you look at them yourself to figure out which one you think looks best for your build. Blocks, a little bit more varieties than come in the traditional stone and smelted stone vibes, including this variant right here, which is called the normal deep slate, which can be tiled but must be mined with a silk touch pickaxe, because if you don't, it will instead give you cobbled deep slate, which is just one of many variations. And I recommend looking them up because they all honestly look fantastic. A few other things of note include dripstone, which you can craft out of these dripstone points when you drop on them or when they drop on other things, such as displayed right here. They cause damage and also break, which is very useful. They slowly grow over time if they have water above them or on their own. It's the dripstone blocks. If you put lava above it, it will also slowly drop lava into cauldrons, which is a regenerable way to get lava. These can be found all over the world and also show us one of the last new features. This is glow lichen. It glows. Bone meal it. It spreads, 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 and it just keeps growing. Much like vines, but in any direction, but they don't grow on their own. You must bone meal it. And it will just keep going in every theoretical direction. See? Like a plague. While this is not the last update, it's the last one I really think is worth knowing about ahead of time, is the moss block. You can pick up moss blocks from dungeons, and I think it's found in the real world, but I've yet to figure out where. The wiki is always a little inconsistent about this. Moss blocks will, when bone mealed, turn other blocks next to it, including mycelium and grass, and it says gravel, though it wasn't working earlier. I'm not too sure about that. Will slowly grow over time, putting these moss blocks down instead of the grass blocks or the dirt blocks or whatever happens to be there. It generates a few things such as the moss block, moss carpet, which works a bit like carpet but with moss, these azalea bushes, and these flowering azalea bushes, which all look very nice and can be used in a myriad of different ways. And of course, I almost forgot, this is powdered snow. When you walk into powdered snow, it slowly traps you. It's very hard to get out of, as you can see. It starts giving you this frost effect, which, if I was not in creative mode, slowly does this to you. Freezes you over time, that beautiful vignette, and then also will eventually give you the... Where is it? It doesn't seem to display, but that's a new type of damage called the frosted status status effect, which basically causes you to slowly take damage over time, much like hunger or other things. The way to get out of this is if you wear leather boots, it will help you get up, and also, most importantly, even lets you walk across it. So you can have, floors that you can walk across that other people can't if you're just using the leather boots. Also of note is the fact that it is picked up using a bucket and then placed down using the bucket for some reason. Now, like I said, that's not everything, but that's about everything I can fit into this video, and also have time to sleep before work because I now work I work the third shift. Oh god, graveyard shift is so destroying my sleep schedule. But I will still be available to stream on Twitch whenever possible, typically Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. But you can check out a better schedule updated there at twitch.tv/RenegadeMercury. And I hope to see you in my newest endeavor, a little SMP server with a few of my friends. So I've been Renegade. Thank you all very much for watching. Please like and comment and subscribe and whatever the other things are in order to help me out, whatever, clickbait, SEO, titles, and enjoy your day. Thank you very much, and have fun with 1.7. 17. God, I need a script for these things. I'm so bad at